Welcome to ECN Trade Daily Video. Before we begin, it should be noted that any advice is of a general nature only and that your personal circumstances have not been taken into consideration. Hello everyone, my name is Rob Clayton and thank you very much for joining me. A couple of comments overnight supported the US dollar strength, one from Janet Yellen, which made the comments upbeat for a stronger US dollar, and also yesterday's BOJ stance of keeping policies on hold did see a weaker yen. So first of all, the Australian dollar continues its decline overnight and tumbled to the low of 72.21, right in front of the support at 72.20. Rebounding modestly off that level, the market is now challenging the resistance at 72.70, which could see scope up towards 73.20 before the bears return. It is likely that that level, also noted that it was a 73.10 breakdown, should see a rejection from there and see the market retest the lows and then lower down towards the region of 71.80.40 and reassess from there. In the unlikely event we do get a break above 73.20, this would see short covering up towards 73.80.85, but this looks unlikely. And I still hold the view as still the rally beyond 72.70 to 73.20 and then lower down towards the break of 72.20. As I mentioned, dollar strength was evident overnight as we witnessed the euro record a fresh low of 103.51 prior to 103.56. With the dollar index also rallying, took out the high of 103.55 and recorded a new 2014. It recorded a near 14-year high of 103.62. In terms of the current pattern, I expect to see further US dollar strength. This would put further stress to the downside on euro and eventually taking out that support of 103.45.50 and then lower down towards 102.40 with the potential of 101.60 and scope to parity into that views into early next year. Resistance in the short term comes in at 104.25 and slightly firmer at 104.70. As I mentioned, the yen weakness with the BOJ policy on hold, and also to the fact that this longevity of the uptrend, the pullbacks are very shallow and continue to be. If we see a break today of 118.30, then this would give further scope up towards 119 to 120 as an objective. Until we get the break of 118.30, then the recent breach of 116.80 is still valid, and we could see the first move to 117.45, and then it's viewed that we could see further weakness down towards 116.60 with the support holding firmly at 115.25.40. I do expect to see the market rebound from there and eventually take on the challenge of 119 to 120. But do note, as I mentioned, above 118.30 negates the 116.80 break and would look for a further rally. The sterling was weaker overnight and it finally took out that support of 123.60 and recorded a low around 123.11. In light of the break, I still expect to see further weakness, but we need to see a move under 122.80 to get the further decline. Looking at the top side, resistance now comes in at 124.10 to 124.80. And also, the gold is still struggling to get above the 11.44 level. On the day, I expect to see further weakness, and taking out the support at 11.26 would give further weakness to 11.20, then down towards 11.10. And it is viewed beneath 11.10 will give further weakness to the objective of 10.50 and reassess from there. In the unlikely event we get a break above the 38.44 level, then this would see further scope to 11.50 to 53 before supply returning. And to wrap up with oil, we're now challenging this level of a 53.60. A break above 80 would give me a neutral view. I would need to see further evidence to support a rally up towards $55 to $60 a barrel. So I would sit on the sidelines for the short term above 53.80 and assess what the indicators are supporting. If we see another rejection from this region, then the $49.60 a barrel is still intact as an objective. So that wraps up my daily video. Thank you very much for joining me today. And as always, please look out for my intraday report that's about to be released shortly.